Hi, in this video, I'm going to show you how to use the Market Movers module in Quotestream. In this video, I'm going to talk about the Market Movers module. So I've chosen to open up the video with the default Markets workspace, so you can see sort of an idea of what someone might want for a visual representation of the general market. And in here, we have 4 modules. One of them in the bottom right is the Market Movers module, and that's the one we're discussing today. So as usual, you can add the Market Movers module to any workspace where there's a little white triangle. You can switch to it, or you can float it, and you can add it as its own window. It's also available in the Market Research module, which goes into more detail in another video. So for this video, I'm going to create a workspace, just a new workspace. To the left, workspace, new. I'm going to call this Market Movers. And I just want one single window. Good for the presentation. And there it is in the top right. And I'm going to click the little white triangle and move to Market Movers. Okay, so it opened to the percent decliners for NASDAQ. Well, if you look at this, you can have a pretty good idea of what we're seeing here. And right off the bat, you can see we are looking at the biggest percent decliners on the NASDAQ exchange during the market hours. Sorted by change percent, we can see some lost 74% on the day, although if you compare that with a volume, it is, it's all relative. You would look at possibly something with a little more volume, and you could see here as we have the volume column. So you have the name, symbol, last, change percent, volume, open, high, low, trade value, and number of trades. Give you an idea of a full quote for the market, at least for the day. Now, here is the drop down, and you can choose between different markets. This one's on NASDAQ. There's New York Stock Exchange, NYSE American. And you will want to use the OTC for our OTC market movers. And you can also use you can look at Canadian markets. We have the Toronto Stock Exchange, TSX Venture, the CSE, TMXS, the CSE Pure, Alpha, Omega, Chi-X, and then London markets. Now let's change this quickly to something a little more positive. The percent gainers is green. So I'm going to move to New York Stock Exchange, and I'm going to talk about the different options, the different market movers fields or lists that you can look at. So we have the volume actives. That's going to show the most volume. You can see it's sorted by volume. Then we have NEO and Chesapeake and GE. If you have the lower priced symbols there at the top, and you can see as it goes right down. This will show both green, red, and white because it is based on volume and not percentage or dollar change. Dollar gainers sorted by change. Percent gainers, change percent. Percent decliners, change percent. Dollar volume actives, and so that's going to be the trade value. So whatever has the most, the stock price times the amount of volume gives us the trade value, how much actual dollars were traded. I get the feeling the SPY is going to be up there, at least for New York all the time. And if we look to NASDAQ, maybe Apple. Yeah, Apple and Amazon in the Qs. And there's a 52-week high and a 52-week low option, which is great because you get to see, who's breaking new highs and new lows. Let's see on the NASDAQ, Autodesk, Zebra Technologies, Lululemon. Got a few here that have made new highs at November 27th, 2019. The market has been kind of just climbing up there. And so I believe this list is probably going to be pretty long. Let's see who made new highs for the year on New York. Alibaba, Paycom. And you can, switch between. You can look. You want to see who made 52-week high on each market. You can just go through. And you can see how it goes. There's only a few that made the 52-week high, so I'm going to show a few. 52-week lows. That's still quite a big list. Well, if we look at it more, more detail, it looks like we have a lot of these inverse ETFs, which are on ARCA, which are included in the New York Stock Exchange. So that would probably explain a lot of that, considering the bull run we've had. See what the NASDAQ shows. Yeah, so there's some more actual companies here, along with the short Qs. Okay. You can also fine grain between the various sectors, so you can go further with different sectors, whether it's on whichever market you choose and whichever field. You can use this, and you can, by all means, find the one that works for you and do some detailed analysis on which sectors have the most winners or losers for the day, and you can, go there. You can also export this data. So you can export the full list, and you can copy to your clipboard for just a quick paste into, say, a doc. You can print it. And so I'm going to show you one little thing here. Let's go to New York, and let's look at percent gainers. So right now here, we're in market hours. So if it's during the market day and you're like, I'm not seeing anything moving, there's a chance you might have it on the pre-market or after hours. These are separated for the US exchanges that have pre and post-market data. If you look at pre-market, and if you look after hours, so it's 4:30 Eastern. So we'll see what is, making moves up in this current after hours market. And quite a few there. So if you're always want to make sure that you have this set to the correct one, you might be watching pre-market and looking for, maybe percent decliners, and you want to see like who's down the most. And then the market opens and you're like, this hasn't been updating, because it will update on its own. You just ignore the test symbols too. Those are put out by the exchange. And you might be wondering why it's not updating every, I think it's 15 seconds. That would be because you might be stuck on the pre-market as the current market. So you want to make sure that this is lined up with the correct market hours. On another note, if we go to TSX, you look that you cannot select the market hours. And so in Canada, there's no pre and post trading. There is orders that are placed, but there's no actual trading. So you will only be seeing the market movers in Canadian markets during market hours. Thanks for watching our video. Please subscribe to our channel to see more of our tutorial videos.